Hi, I'm Ashton, and I didn't have a planned intro for this video, so my first instinct was just, and I'm gay. So, and I'm gay. That has nothing to do with what I'm gonna talk about. But today is February. I had my top surgery, revision surgery, December the 14th, so it has been a little bit over 2 months since my revision surgery, and I kind of wanted to update you guys on that, show you what's been going on. Not that things have like changed drastically, but so if you don't know, I have had two top surgeries, kind of. I had my original top surgery where most of my tissue was removed, and then I had a complication with my left side of my chest. My 2 months post-op from my original top surgery has actually been gaining a lot of views recently and getting a shit ton of hate comments, which has sucked, but it's weird, and I don't know, but and it sucks even more because that video is not monetized because YouTube doesn't like my chest. Anyways, that's slightly off topic, but only slightly. So anyways, my point is, so I had top surgery a year and 2 months ago because I needed top surgery, and then I had a nipple complication that I have a whole video about, and there's a whole catalog of videos going over my recovery from top surgery and now my recovery from top surgery revision. But now it's been 2 months since my top surgery revision, a year and 2 months since my original top surgery, and I want to talk about that and the healing process and everything. The last video I did on this was a Q&A that I did about a month post revision surgery, so feel free to go take a look at that if that's more your style than a kind of sit down talky video. But yeah, I'm gonna take off my sweatshirt and show you my chest and be vulnerable. I've been taking off shirts like this recently to like avoid my conch piercing. So you can't even see anything. This is my chest. I had my nipples removed. I had my entire lower body removed. I'm only shoulders now. No, so this is my chest, 2 months post revision surgery. So I'm going to go over aesthetics first. So my chest at this point is mainly flat. This side had a lot of swelling this time around, partially because I didn't have drains. I just had like holes. And partially because I definitely stopped binding like right after 2 weeks. I was not going to bind anymore. So there is like a little bit of a bump right here that's just like scar tissue and extra tissue that I have been kind of massaging out recently. So that might go down with the massaging. A lot of people's chests like don't fully settle down for months and months after top surgery, so I'm not too worried about that. I'll just keep kind of massaging it and see where that goes. It's difficult to see, but like I can see it. There's a little like bump there as opposed to completely flat chest. Maybe you could see it from the side. From the side, my chest is almost entirely flat. You can kind of see the bump there. And then from this side, it's like totally flat, which is nice. So this nipple is irritated around the nipple, which is partially because like it's winter and it's so dry and my skin is so sensitive. I have like eczema all over my arm, and my skin just doesn't like me, as you can probably tell by my face in the first place. But yeah, this nipple has irritation around it, and it kind of constantly does, and it's really annoying because it looks like my nipple's larger than it is. You can probably tell like that this part is the irritation and like this part's the actual nipple. But I've been putting hydrocortisone on it recently to help clear it up. It's not nearly as bad as it was like pre-revision surgery, but it still does get irritated. So I've been working on clearing that up. And then as for the scar, it goes to this point under my armpit. The scars don't bother me at all. I know a lot of people are a little bit dysphoric about having like scars on their chest because it does very often give you away as like not cisgender, but they don't bother me at all. I have a lot of scars from other reasons, and scars just aren't something that make me feel any worse about myself in general. So the scars are both really, really thin, as you can see, which is really nice. Quick trigger warning for self-harm scars, but just to show you kind of how my scars generally have healed in the past. I tend to scar pretty white, a little bit raised, but like over time I feel like these will turn white. But you never know. Right now they're relatively pink and red. In different places, so that's fun. That's a good time. I definitely feel like I've healed faster than I did at this point last year, just because it was a much less intense surgery, so that's been nice. So this is my original nipple. This nipple is not a nipple. This is my scar tissue built up to look a little bit like a nipple, but it's not a nipple. It's my scar tissue. So I'm not going to explain exactly what happened with my complication in this video because I have a whole video about it and that could take an hour, but essentially my body kind of ate my left nipple. It's a weird way to describe it, but that's really the simplest that I can get it down to. My body just kind of absorbed my nipple, and I don't know why, but it happened. So here's my neo nipple, which is what I've been calling it recently. Not Neo is in the Matrix, Neo is in the prefix for new. But yeah, that's my faux nipple, my neo nipple. That is kind of like shaped similarly to this nipple so that eventually I can get this one tattooed to match this one, kind of cosmetically tattooed. I'm probably going to wait quite some time for that though. Like, I really just want to heal as much as I possibly can before I get my nipples tattooed, just because I know that that's going to be a whole nother healing process that'll probably be different from regular tattoo, just because it's on top of like so much scar tissue. There's like the tiniest dog ear on this side, kind of see where it puckers out, but that really doesn't bother me at all. Like, I could not care. So last thing aesthetically would be the drain holes. My original top surgery, I had Penrose drains, which a lot of the times when you see people with drains after top surgery, they're the ones with like bulbs at the end that collect fluid. Mine were not. Mine were just little penny pasta looking things sticking out my sides, that did allow drainage to happen, but I didn't have to like change orbs that held the fluid. I just used like maternity pads. But the drain holes that I had this year were literally just holes that went through where my original drains were. There was no penne pasta looking things that were in them to help me drain, so my chest just drained through the holes as much as it could, before they naturally sealed up after about a week. So this is the drain hole on the left side. It's nearly gone. And then this is the drain hole on the right side. You can barely see it now, but it is there. So as for range of movement, I can move pretty much however I want to at this point, like arms all around. It still feels a little bit tight when I move, like with my arms completely out or back, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't hurt. If moving hurt, then I wouldn't move in that way. I'm gonna put some Mepitac over my scars. I have 2 packs of this left that I'm gonna finish up just by keeping it over my scars for a while. I've been going like off and on because I do like having on Mepitac because I feel like it's helping me heal even if it isn't, but it can also sometimes feel like really weird, so I've been kind of switching on and off having it. But I'm gonna put it on. But back to what I was saying about mobility. I feel like I can move however I need to now, but I definitely feel tightness when I move like to the full extent of my body, but it's not a painful tightness, and it's not a tightness that feels like my chest is gonna rip open. It's just a like stretch tightness, you know, it's not negative per se. So this is what it looks like with scar tape on, just for reference, I don't know. So mobility, movement are pretty much back to normal. I have been playing flute like just fine from like 2 weeks post-op, so that hasn't been a bother. And I just got back to riding at the beginning of February, so I only took like a month really off from riding horseback. I rode yesterday, I'm riding again tomorrow. I usually only ride once a week, but you know, sometimes it happens. As for sensation, I'm gonna do the Q-tip test. The reason for the Q-tip test, as I feel like I explain every time, but you know how you can't really tickle yourself? It's sometimes the same way with touch. Like even if I'm touching parts of my chest that are numb, I'll still feel it on my fingertips, and my brain might like confuse them because brains are weird. So I'm just gonna kind of run this along my chest and tell you where I can feel it and where I can't. Maybe I should have done this before the scar tape, but it's gonna be the same, it doesn't matter. So I can feel like all of this, and then it gets a little bit numb right between the scars. This part that still has like that slight bump, I really can't feel. Here, about this far down under the scar, I can. This is all numb, and I can start feeling it right here. This side, the side that I had a complication on initially, I can actually feel more of. I can't feel here, actually. Oh, I can kind of feel right here, but not here. And not along the scar again. I can feel right here, though, right under that scar. That actually kind of tickles. This isn't numb. Like, right under this scar, it's not numb. It's some weird, like, in-between sensation, kind of like pins and needles. I can't feel this nipple at all. Oh, I can feel right above it, though. And then this nipple is completely numb as well. So yeah, that's where my sensation is. As for like emotions, I'm really happy with where my chest is now. It feels a lot better than it did pre-revision for sure. Again, you can definitely go through my top surgery playlist just to kind of figure out where I went through to get to this spot. The only negative emotion I really have is feeling like I'm going through so much healing again. Like I've done all this before. It's almost a deja vu sense where it's like I've seen these scars before. I've done these healing things before. But I wouldn't say that's all negative. It's more of just a like odd familiarity where it's like didn't want to do this again, but here we are. All right, I'm gonna put my sweatshirt back on because I'm done like showing you my chest. Also, a kind of odd feeling that I've been having recently is like I wish I had pictures of my pre-op chest. I know that they did take them at the surgeon's office, but I don't like have access to that. And it's not like I miss my chest because I do not. I love my chest now, and I'm so happy that I don't have boobs anymore. Thank the devil. But I do want to like compare, and I wish I had some sort of reference to look back on and be like, this was my boobs. This is where I am now. To have that kind of growth reflection type thing. But I don't have any pictures of my chest pre-op that I can think of. I do have some like in bras, but I mean like just me like standing like this, like, oh, boobs out. I wish I had a picture like that I could have to compare to, you know? Not even publicly, just for myself. But other than that, emotionally, I feel really great. My level of physical activity isn't like all the way back to normal. Writing's been a little bit difficult getting back into it. I had a like mini costo flare out the other day because the trainer that I was riding with has us do an exercise where like we hold the reins in just one hand and then like drop one stirrup. So we're riding like one leg, one hand, which is a wild time. It's a lot of fun and it's difficult on your muscles. But my ribs were just kind of like, so that wasn't fun. That was a weird noise. I'm very sorry. So yeah, I have struggled a little bit getting back into like physical activity, but hopefully I can be like fully healed and, you know, all that jazz soon. I never say all that jazz. I don't know where that came from. That was a cool expression. I'll use that more often. But yeah, I do feel like I'm over like all of the major humps in healing. And the hard part is now just waiting to be fully healed and waiting to be like recovered and fine to like go out in the sun shirtless, you know? I just want to like exist. I don't want to have to put tape on my scars and like massage my scar tissue. It's just a bother at this point. But yeah, that's where I am. A year and 2 months post-top surgery. It's a wild saying that. 2 months post-top surgery revision. I hope that this video is helpful for somebody that is going through top surgery or revision soon, or I hope you learned something or enjoyed yourself. I don't know. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to my struggles, and I hope that if you have chest dysphoria, that you can get it all resolved soon for yourself because you deserve it. I love you, and I'll talk to you later, maybe.